So one of my favorite Ross judging stories, he judged on a panel when Catherine and Cade debating for Dartmouth were debating Andrea Reed and Durkee in the doubles or triples of the seated nationals on the China topic. And Andrea heard part of Ross's decision and started to get a little angry and frustrated about an argument that she was convinced that he had just forgotten about and not considered. And so she said, well, what did you do with this argument? I can't remember what the argument was. And Ross responded to this with, I got it right here. He kind of points to his flow right here. I don't know if you know how I flow, but I write everything down one time. He starts kind of shuffling all of his paper. We're getting increasingly exaggerated. And then, when I'm making my decision, I transcribe it for twice because I have it twice. I read it twice, and there's sort of this extended digression into the dynamics of the Ross flow. Now, I always thought that one of the things that was very endearing about Ross's judging is that he was one of those judges who, it's like definitively, most sheets of paper seem to move in a very sharp triangle. Like by the end of the debate, there seemed to be very little actually written down. In spite of that, and I thought, it's definitely made incredible decisions and was able to explain and capture components of the debate very effectively, just not necessarily writing them down in that precise manner. So he's sort of pointing to these flows that really don't have all that much written down on them. It becomes increasingly obvious that he probably has not actually flowed this argument in spite of the fact that he might be right about his decision. Andrea sort of gives up because we're really into about 10-15 minutes of the description of how Ross flows. And so we move on to the other two members of the panel. Galloway gives his decision, it takes probably 10 or 15 more minutes, and then Stefan proceeds to start giving his decision. About 5 minutes into Stefan's decision, Ross, who has been shuffling with paper the whole time this has been going on, just yells out, I got it. I got it right. I found it right here. And he just sort of holds up this random sheet of paper that he's obviously looked at 10 or 15 times since this discussion has started. And he's very proud of himself for having written down this one argument that Andrea was very upset about. So that's my Ross judging story, and I will miss not having more stories like that one from such a fantastic judge and a fantastic guy.